All right, so let's go ahead and graph this horizontal parabola where A is 1. So the first thing that we want to do in order to graph this is let's write this in vertex form. And so we're just going to use what we learned in the beginning of this section, and that is use the steps of completing the square. So I'm going to go ahead and factor out a -2 from the first two terms. So I get y squared minus 2y and then minus 3. Again, -2 times y squared is -2y. -2 times -2y is positive 4y. Okay, so now I take my b term, which is -2, I cut it in half, and then I square it. -2 divided by 2 is -1. Squared is 1. So that's my special number right there. So I have -2 y squared minus 2y. Now my special number is 1, so I'm going to add 1 right there. I'm going to add 1. I'm going to kind of run out of room here, so I'm just going to move this over. And then, so be careful right here. So if I add 1, then I have to subtract 1. So that means I'm going to do minus, watch this now, minus -2 times 1. So I'm subtracting 1, but then because it was inside the parentheses, I have to multiply by whatever's outside here. Then minus 3. It's a little tricky right there. Okay, so if I factor this, I get y minus 1 quantity squared. This is 2 minus 3, which is -1. Okay, so we wrote our quadratic from standard form into quadratic form. Actually, I'm sorry, into vertex form. And now it's very simple to find the vertex. So the vertex then, again, this is our 8, so -1, and then the opposite sign of here is 1. All right, so let's go ahead and graph this guy. -1, 1. And we know that it's going to open to the left because if a is less than 0, then we know it's going to open to the left. So let's use our shortcut by doing the over 1 up 1 times a, over 2 up 4 times a. So I'm going to go over 1 up 2 times a. Well, a is -2, so I'm just going to go up 2. Over 2, oops, wait, that one should be right here. Then over 2 up 4 times a, but a is -2, so it's going to be -8s. And that's enough right there to graph this guy. And that would be that guy. So we found the vertex. We also need to find the axis of symmetry. What is the equation of this line that cuts that in half? And so that's y equals 1. What is the domain? Well, the smallest number that this goes to is -infinity, but the biggest x value that this goes to is -1. And for the range, this goes forever down and forever up, so it's going to go from -infinity to +infinity.